Relative age effect. Variables in human development associated with the date of birth is referred to as the relative age effect. This is the idea that children born early in the year perform higher than those born later in the year. It was first demonstrated in the academic domain by Barnsley and Thompson 1985, who noted differences in age among children born in the same calendar year. Similarly, Musch and Grondin 2001 referred to the relative age effect as the advantage of being born early after a cut-off date in the annual group. Such grouping is a usual way to organise sport activities. So why is this important? Well, in school, many sports group children by age to equalise evaluation and competition, said by Barrow and McGee in 1977. One of the biggest problems with trying to identify talent in the face of differing levels of maturity, as explained by McCarthy in 2016, is that there is an inevitable bias towards picking the bigger, stronger and faster boy. No one likes to be picked last in sports, but aside from the obvious bias, it can also have a knock-on effect, as outlined by Baker et al. In 2003, who stated that the presence of the relative age effect suggests that categorising children by age can create training inequalities and reduce opportunities for younger children. However, research is now emerging which shows that the least mature players in junior representative squads are some of the most likely to transition into senior national squads. Research done by Cobley and 2017 suggests that to investigate and measure the relative age effect, birthday is distributed over 4 quartiles. In England, these are as follows. Quartile 1, athletes born between September and November. Quartile 2, between December and February. Quartile 3, between March and May. And quartile 4, between June and August. Research by Helson et al. In 1998 would have us believe that athletes born in the later quartiles are less likely to be selected and will not have the same access to training facilities and to skilled coaches. However, we are now finding this is not always the case. A real-world example of this would be Lionel Messi. Messi was born in Rosario, Argentina on the 24th of June 1987, which puts him in the 4th quartile category. Meaning that if the relative age effect was as prominent as research has led us to believe, this incredible footballing magician would have never had the chance to become one of the best footballers the world has ever seen. In their article about Lionel Messi, Biography.com stated that he was recognisably smaller than most of the kids in his age group. Messi was eventually diagnosed by doctors as suffering from a hormone deficiency that restricted his growth. Messi's parents decided on a regime of nightly growth hormone injections for their son, though it soon proved impossible to pay several $100s per month for the medication. So, as you can imagine, at age 13, when Messi was offered the chance to train at soccer powerhouse FC Barcelona's youth academy and have his medical bills covered by the team, Messi's family didn't hesitate to pack up and move across the Atlantic to make their new home in Spain. Although he was often homesick, this didn't restrict Messi from advancing quickly through the junior system ranks. But what does all this mean? Well, Messi's case shows us that ignoring the later quartile birthdays potentially limits the opportunity of greater athletes to develop and surpass their early quartile counterparts. As summed up by Ford and Williams in 2011, who stated that in fact the most award-winning athletes and the most valuable players in sporting teams were more likely to be born late in the selection year. So what can be done to make it a level playing field? One technique implemented to limit the relative age effect is biobanding, which Cummings et al. 2017 described as the process of grouping athletes based on attributes associated with growth and maturation rather than chronological age. Although not everyone agrees on this practice, advocates for biobanding often state that restricting the differences associated with maturity variants such as size, strength and skill will result in greater equality in training and competition, and could potentially help reduce the risk of injury to younger athletes. Cummings et al. In 2017. Biobanding tries to create the optimal environment where both early and late maturing athletes can thrive by diversifying the learning environment through the creation of new and affordable challenges in the form of new settings, said by Cummings et al. In 2017. As a result, the process of biobanding can in theory benefit both early and late maturing athletes by theoretically eliminating the relative age effect and the negative effect it can have on rising stars.